Hello, this is Andrew Mount for GG. I want to talk to you about Southwell's card on Tuesday night. An excellent card. I hope to be in attendance. I say hope to be as I'm giving blood on Monday night, and if they take too much, then I might not make it. But all being well, I'll see you there. So I'm recording this on Monday afternoon. William Hill have already priced up. That's something they do now with all-weather handicaps at the 48-hour stage. So you can grab a bit of value there if you're quick. Now, I want to talk in particular about the 5 furlong draw bias at Southwell. We've had 16 races over this course and distance since the end of October, and no less than 13 of the 16 winners came from stalls 1, 2 or 3, and we'd have made a profit of over £60 if we backed the 3 lowest draws blind, although that's largely thanks to a 50-1 winner, Amazing Amaya. Now, in this first race, we've only got 6 runners, but I still want to go low. This is the 5:15, a Class 4 handicap. Robot Boy is coming out of stall 1, 14-1 for Marjorie Fife, although he's not been seen since the summer and he generally goes best after a recent run, so I'll expect he'll need this race, so I'm happy to overlook him. And that brings us to the runners in stalls 2 and 3 that I'm particularly interested in. Now, the stall 2 runner is Astro Jack for the informed Carl Burke yard. He was well beaten over 6 furlongs here last time, but he was ridden patiently that day. And it was when there was a really strong following wind in the straight and Samovar won over that 6 furlong trip, his first win beyond the minimum distance. And it really strongly favoured those who were up with the pace. And in finishing 8th from off the pace in that 13 runner lineup, I think that was a run that could be upgraded. So Astro Jack has shown form over course and distance previously. He's wearing a visor for the first time, so hopefully he'll be ridden more prominently. And Carl Burke's had 4 winners from his last 16 runners in the past fortnight. So Astro Jack the main play, 5-1 early with William Hill at the moment. Now the other one I want to have a savour on is coming out of stall 3, and that's Warriors Valley for David Griffiths, who won this race last year with Ornate. Now Warriors Valley was 4th over course and distance on Sunday, wasn't best drawn that day, and again that's a run that can be upgraded. So Astro Jack over Warriors Valley in the 5:15. Before I talk about the other 5 furlong race, I want to mention the Class 3 mile handicap. This is the 5:15 race. Only 6 runners here, but a couple that interest me in particular. I think Hills have got the wrong favourite here in Mossackar for Ollie Pears. Now this one was impressive when winning in novice company here last time, but the favourite that day, an odds-on shot trained by John Gosden called Millicent Fawcett, is a Kingman Colts, and Kingman just generally don't do very well here on the Fibresand, 0 from 12 so far. He's since won at Wolverhampton, but the other horses in that race have let the form down, so I'm happy to oppose the favourite. The 2 I like are Motta Wafek, excuse my French, for the Mick Appleby yard. He was a winner at Wolverhampton on his stable debut, but on breeding he might well appreciate this switch to Fibresand by Wootton Bassett. And more interestingly, at a bigger price, Hills are 10-1, is Smile a Mile for the Mark Johnson yard. Now this one's breeding, he's by Slade Power, suggests that the switch to Fibresand for the first time will suit. Slade Power's got a 20% strike rate here, 4 wins from 20 starts, admittedly a small sample size. But that's certainly better than the sire's record at Wolverhampton, where he ran last time, 3 from 49, just 6.8%. And we've only had 4 horses by Slade Power who've switched from Wolverhampton to Southwell before, and 2 of those have won at 3-1 and 7-4, including the last 2. The others were priced at 16-1 and 50-1. So I think this is a surface upgrade for Smile a Mile. His 4 career wins have come in fields of 7 or fewer runners. So he should be prominent throughout, as Mark Johnson's runners often are, and I think he could be the value in this race. Moving on to that last race, again another 5 furlong handicap. Now it's taken the Hills odds compilers a little while to understand the draw bias here, and going back a few weeks they were pricing up based on last time out form and often putting high drawn horses in as favourites for these 5 furlong handicaps. Sadly, they seem to have cottoned on. And looking at the market for this race, I'll split it by draw. Tilsworth Rose, stall 1, is 7-2 favourite. Under Curfew, stall 2, 4-1 joint second favourite. George Thomas, stall 3, 4-1 joint second favourite. And Global Melody, stall 4, 5-1. I'll take on Global Melody because he tends to hang to his right, and so he'll probably end up more towards the stand side rail. Tilsworth Charlie's just won once from 20-odd starts in her career, but should be there or thereabouts. She's was second of 14 over course and distance from stall 1 recently, so backing her each way at sort of 7-2 or 4-1 if you can get that in the morning. Might not be the worst thing to do. Under Curfew by Stimulations, not sure to appreciate Fibresand. The sire is just 3 from 49 here and no winner for over 2 years. George Thomas then is the obvious one. He was placed behind the progressive Zappa class over course and distance the other day, and he's nicely drawn here in stall 3. So George Thomas each way if I had to play in this race, or maybe Tilsworth Rose each way also. That's it from me. And so just to summarise, in the 5:15, have a look at Astro Jack and Warriors Valley. In the 4:45, that is. In the 5:15, I'm with Smile a Mile over Mutawafek. And in the last race, I'm looking at George Thomas and Tilsworth Rose. Until later in the week, best of luck. Cheers.